Okay, now that we have created a login function that will allow the user to log in into the system, the next thing we need to do is to create a logout function that will allow the user to log out of the system and be redirected back to the login page. Okay, we are currently on the settings component, settings page. This component is responsible for serving as a settings page on the browser. And what we need to do here is to add a form with a button sign out. This button is type submit. And this attribute here, action, we can make this accept an async function that will return sign out function. This sign out function comes from auth.ts. We have extracted this sign out from NextJS function. And also notice that this component is intended to be rendered on the browser. This means server will be sending this to the browser. And looking at this action here, this should be executed in the server. So what we're going to do is to tell the NextJS that this function is need to be executed on the server by type use server. So NextJS will know or already know how to handle this kind of stuff. Another thing that we need to do is to remove this marker use client, so that in the server we will not be having an issue because there are two markers, use server and use client. Now let's go to the browser. Let's type here name example.com password, and after some delay we are now redirected to the settings page. And as you can see, here is our sign out button. So when we click this, or if we are going to click this sign out button, we should be redirected back to the login page. So I'm going to click it, and there you go, we are back in the login page. Now to test that we cannot visit again the settings, as you can see here, the URL is still in settings. If I enter this, I should be still be redirected here in this page. And there you go, I am redirected again back to this page, as you can see here in the URL for plugin. The next thing that we need to do is to re-log in again using this form. So let's do that. Okay, now we are in the settings. Let's click the sign out so that we will be redirected here in the login form, and let's log in again. And of course, we are redirected again back to the settings page. And here in the terminal, after we have successfully logged in, we can see this error 2, error next redirect. Actually, this is not an error. It is not a genuine error, because if we look at our login.ts here, actually that is the result of our console error here, error 2, and then the error which is being displayed in that terminal. And back here in the terminal, this next underscore redirect, actually this is just a signal that NextJS is being used to tell the client side to do a redirection after a server action. This sign-in function from NextAuth, when used with redirect to option, it will return that kind of error, a special signal. And if that is being returned, then NextJS will intercept and will do the correct redirection on the client side. And looking back our implementation in this try-catch block, we can now remove this console error because it creates a confusing message on the terminal. And also this is not needed because after this sign-in execute, NextJS will intercept, and actually lines after that function will not be executed. So we can safely remove this and just leave this line for now, because as you have remember in our login form, there is this rest that call the property success and rest that call the property error. So to satisfy that, let's just leave this line as is for now. And we can also now get rid of this. And going back in browser, let's sign out and do the sign in again. We are still being redirected to the settings page. And in the terminal, we can see here, log in and redirected to the settings page. We are now not seeing this kind of error above because we removed those console log.